There was no
Hey.
countdown. Good
Hello.
afternoon. Good afternoon, right?
Yes.
Right on? Yep.
It's an
Okay.
afternoon. It is.
Welcome
It is
to
now.
the OEL studios here in beautiful Colwich, America. I'm your host, or co-host. I don't know. Am I a host? I don't know. But whatever.
You can be whatever
I'm
you want to
something.
be.
My name is Al Urok. This is Travis Gear. We are the co-hosts. We can say that. Or I don't know. You're really not a guest.
I'm transparent.
You are a little transparent. Nope, you're there.
That cleaned me up.
Turns out. It doesn't.
Why did this
I can't,
happen?
Well, because you're.
Well, you didn't text me to remind me that it was freaking. That it was our power
Freaking
time.
essential that you dress properly. Yeah, there you
That's
go.
great.
There you go. All right. Well, welcome to the show where we answer any questions you might have. It's been a little while since we did this. Has it been a couple of months? We maybe just had a short show the other time. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
It feels like I haven't been in the studio a long time.
It's true. Part of it was.
I think we did.
We did a late one and then we skipped one.
Right.
So it's probably like 6 weeks.
There you
7
go.
weeks.
So we're back in action. I don't think we had any questions last time, but this time I think we have questions.
We have a monkey load.
A monkey load. You and the.
Oh, yeah.
You and the half naughty words. I don't know.
And you got, I'm frazzled because I'm see-through and I don't have all my drinks over here. I always have 2 drinks, a LaCroix, brought to you by LaCroix, and a water.
I often find myself having 3 drinks, something
That's
sweet like a soda,
out of control.
something watery like water, and then something alcoholic like whiskey.
Oh, here?
Well, not like during the not during.
I didn't
the
know it was
show,
time for that.
if you will. No. Well, it could be. I don't mind. Yeah, there you go.
Dude, this is going to bother me the whole time.
It's okay. You're gonna have to live with it. You did it, Travis. Seems like we're going in and out of focus a little bit, but hey.
It's probably my shirt.
Oh, that probably doesn't help. If you just turn a right angle.
Gosh dang it. That's okay. We got to keep moving. I can't fixate.
All right.
Otherwise, next thing you know, I'm going to have no shirt on, and that's going to be uncomfortable.
That is a good way to.
Okay. All right. Where shall we?
Let us begin. I
Yeah,
think
okay.
fine with me. Let me see. Can I see the thing?
'Cause we can,
Oh, yeah, look at
we
that.
can banter.
Look at that. I don't know how that's gonna work, but we're gonna go with it. Okay, cool. What? Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right.
It's been, crazy times call for crazy amounts of questions.
All right. Bring it on.
So, all right, number
I haven't looked
one.
at any of them. So totally unprepared.
Wow. Like he ever looks at any of them.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one comes from Marka Acton with thehealinghouse.co. She asks a couple things. How do I get Canvas on the website? So I'm thinking she means just creating something in Canva and then putting it on the site. And then how do I get into the document that gets updated regularly to accept reservations?
Okay. So a couple of things. So Canva, for those that are not familiar, is a tool that we often recommend that lets you edit images. It's a freeware not freeware, but it's a web app. It has different elements that you can pay for, like particular pictures or layouts or things like that. But it works really well for creating graphics for your website or for other social media tools. So we recommend that. So we can kind of step into that. And then the other thing was
Where she
around
finds the register.
form results.
Yep.
Okay. So starting off.
Sorry.
Yeah. Let's break it open here.
Hopefully I didn't blow anybody's speakers or eardrums.
Now, if I switch over to the camera, am I going to see this? This is going to be, it's going to test my eyesight over here. Oh, I need to get over to their screen. There we go. Okay. It's going to be a little tough. I wonder if I can move this over to other screen. There we go. Okay, that's better. All right. So we'll start off by going to Canva.
Now we're still visible, right? Like I need to be careful about any facial expressions I make. Or
Yes, we're down in the corner there.
Okay.
There we go.
Just making sure.
We need like a 3-monitor setup so we can see. Yeah, that's all right. All right, so I'm gonna log in. Okay, so Canva it requires you to have some type of login, and so you can do that with Google, Facebook, Apple, and Apple ID, or create a specific password. I generally just use my Google account. I'll go ahead and just use my normal account. Oh, there we need to. that going. Hopefully it doesn't give me more tests. Okay, there we go. And design anything. So the deal here is, you're gonna create a design. There's different templates like social media, like covers, posts, things like that that'll fit in there exactly, or different paper publications, Zoom backgrounds. There's all kinds of design elements that you can work with. I'm going to go ahead and just start by creating a design. So the big blue button up at the top right, and it's going to have different like dimensions for you to create items. So like YouTube art, presentation, whatever the case might be. I'm going to use custom dimensions, and this is where you're going to need to know what's the width and height of your of the element that you're trying to place up there. So if I go to Healing House, where is that? In Oklahoma.
Sorry, I'm totally locked in. I was just looking to see us on YouTube.
Thehealinghouse.co. You said that earlier.
Okay, I did,
thanks for being the co-host, because you're a real beaut. All right. So typically when I want to see what's going on here, basically I need to find out what size this is. I assume this is what we're wanting to transition out. So a lot of times we have this on the control panel itself when you log in, but I'm going to cheat, and I'm just going to hit inspect, and I can go and let's see here, try to get the original picture. Oh, where is it at? This seems...
They have it on their...
Oh, it is on their thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times you can
1250 by 747.
Oh, well, look at you. Well, I was going to not
look at me.
Okay.
Co-host.
Contributed one thing. That's great. Okay. So, we'll just log in.
I contributed 2 things. I gave you that shirt.
True story. I have to remember what my thing is. I don't know. Can you want to just log in?
I don't know mine.
The show?
No,
I don't know. I got everything on.
I get it. Hold on. I'll get you there.
What? Huh?
Hold on, because I don't know it either. It's all right. We're going to get there.
Oh,
Trust
you
me.
don't know yours either.
Yeah. I don't.
Holy moly.
I know.
Okay.
It's okay.
Travis. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry. I wasn't probably supposed to say that.
Yeah, don't read my password out loud.
Did you ever see Spaceballs, where he's got the combination on his luggage?
I did, but I forget.
So there's a thing where he's they're like, "What's the combination to the airlock?" And it's like, "Oh, don't tell him." And he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're like, "What kind of idiot puts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the combination?" And he's like, blah blah blah. And remind me to change the combination on my luggage. Anyway, sorry. And I said,
it's okay. That's the thing.
Who's that comic? Mel Brooks.
Yeah, it's Mel Brooks. It is.
Beautiful moment there. Okay. Anyway, all right. Passwords.
You can all turn your volume back up now that Al's done yelling into the microphone.
I was shouting away from the mic.
Often.
All right. So resize rotator. Okay. So this goes to Canva. So a lot of times what we've done pretty much across the board. I can't say that it's every single instance, but we generally put what those dimensions are. So 1250 by 747, that's the width and height. And when we put these links on here, we generally make it a shortcut to when you click on it, as long as you're logged into Canva, it will create an exact size of canvas of that size. So anyway. So thank you, Travis. Yeah, thank you very much.
Hey.
Log in.
I've contributed a lot of things now.
Click on the button. Again, we're just trying to make this easy. But if you have some other size, you certainly can create an image and create your own width and height. So the magic is knowing what that is. If you need a little bit of help with that, knowing what yours is, just give us a ring, let us know, and we can shoot you back your dimensions for your rotator or whatever, because it could be used for other elements. And then you just write that down and use that going forward. So got a blank canvas to work with here. Canva has a lot of different elements and tools. You can pick a particular layout that's already done. In this case, maybe we just want a nice photo of There you go. A watermelon. Okay, I've used that recently. So when you hover over images, just realize that some of them are paid for. So these look all free, but every once in a while you'll see like a little crown or a dollar sign. And the tricky part about Canva is they'll let you go ahead and make all your design, and then when you're ready to download it, then it'll say,
It'll cost you.
Pay up, Buster. So it's easier if you just kind of
Buster, that's
pay
offensive.
attention to that.
There's a priest named Father Buster in our diocese now.
What do you mean now?
Well, he was just ordained in May.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I played pickleball with him, which also involved Father Orr. And this is the internet, right? It's okay. Father Orr doesn't watch this. And Father Orr, he kept calling him Buster, Buster. And I was like,
Man.
well, this is just Father Orr
Right.
being mean to everybody he plays sports with. And then I remembered looking at the seminarian poster and that there was a Father Buster. And then, anyway.
Oh, so you didn't know.
I hadn't made the
connected
connection.
dots,
Right,
yeah. I think
Father
the same
Buster.
thing about like Guy or any of those that you just like, listen
Yeah.
here, Buster.
yeah. Right.
Like,
Yeah.
unfortunate. Well, you could have a last name like Urok that nobody could pronounce. Yeah, so there's that. Okay,
Watermelon.
watermelon. There we go. Okay, so design this to your heart's content. You can crop, put filters on, all kind of Instagram-y thingies. I don't know. Isn't that what the kids do with the Instagram? Festive.
You're
I
going
don't
to
know.
make it a great old man. Or you already are.
There we go. Okay. All right. So you edit that thing. When you're done, you click on download up here at the top right. And there's different formats you can download it as. And again, it's going to give you your exact dimensions. PNG is what they suggest, but it's a little higher quality than you need. Basically, it's going to be just as good and download faster if you put it as a JPEG instead. So that's what I recommend. But it's not a huge deal one way or another. Then when you're done, click on the download button, and in a few seconds it will download your image to your computer. Generally in the it'll put it into the downloads folder unless you have it set to do something different. Then when you're in the control panel, most every time we create these rotators as articles. So I'm going to dive down into the article manager, search tools, category, and again, just to kind of filter down for those particular items. Now I've got, we can see find the beauty in everyday life, a place to open your heart, and so on. Those were the rotating elements listed here. So all I need to do is either create a new one or edit one of the existing ones here. So if I look at one of the existing ones, I can see here's the title, here's the text that lies underneath, and then under images and links is where we're going to change out this full article image. So if I wanted to create another one of these, for instance, I'd go to new, I'd go Travis and Al, whoops, were
You really like
very
slashes.
small.
You really like
Well,
slashes.
it's a very small backspace key. Hi. Okay, so then so that'd be the title that we'd see there in the larger print, and then hi would be down below. And then we go to images and links, scroll down a little bit, go to select, and this is where we would upload our new picture. So the steps for that, I generally like to keep these things organized, so I'll put it in the rotator. Go to choose files, and I'm going to guess there's our, and downloads folder, like I said, untitled design, hit open, and start upload. Okay, so now that's there, I'd select it and click on insert. And so now that will be the image once if I would save this off, which we won't do.
Well, why not? Marka, forgive us.
Here we go.
Do it.
Save. Go. Refresh.
The proof is
There's
in the
our
pudding.
deer. Okay, it's gone. Get rid of it. Hurry.
I don't even know what just happened.
I should have deleted it initially.
No, here, don't refresh.
What?
Don't refresh
What?
because for
Oh,
everybody,
you're right.
yeah,
You're right. What? We already saw it.
I know. I know. It was like you just opened your eyes at a horror movie, and then all of a sudden you switch to the other screen. I just want to see it, and I like those wildflowers. Plus, also, I've been counting the number of things that I've contributed, and the tally's getting high.
You can't just make up stuff, though. That doesn't count.
Wow.
Travis and I were here.
All right, bam.
We were here.
There you go, Marcus.
Puts a little bit of an overlay. Make sure that you can see it a little bit better there. Okay, are we done?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was good.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
I already deleted it. Well, I unpublished it at least. So it's like we were never here, if you will. And then I'll go ahead and delete the image too. So that's in the image manager, blah, blah, blah.
Above and beyond.
Only one question per question. So, there. It's like we were never there. Okay.
All right.
All right, that's number one. Number two, with the results. So typically we'll put those in our form results, and this is all. So this is the all this is a link to Google Drive. That it's the links that are or the documents that are shared with you. So if you have a document that has registrations, for instance, it should be listed here in this list as long as we've given you access. So if I go to work here and go to, I think, client documents. Yeah. So I don't know, I could go, I don't know where theirs are in particular, but we don't want to necessarily look at somebody's registrations. But any forms that you have will be listed in a format like this. So this would be okay. This would be a good example. So there'll be a form that people do fill out, and then the results will go into the spreadsheet format. So you just double click on that and open it up. If you click on form results and you don't see anything, then you may need to have those documents shared with you. It'll probably, if you're not already logged in already, it will ask you to log in. So it's just a matter of you having access to those documents. But once you click on that, should be taken to Google Drive. You should see something like this. You click on the results, and you can see who registered. Satisfied with that answer? You all right? Okay.
I dig it.
You dig it? I don't know if you dig it, but you accept it. All right. Boom.
Okay.
Question one, down.
All right.
Blurry. It's that dang shirt. And
No, watch this. Dang it. Come on, you're oh, I'm changing colors. Dude, I'm like that mutant on X-Men.
that's all right. Next time,
Except for she's a girl.
wear a reasonable shirt. Okay. What do we got? What's next?
All right. Karen from St. Mary's in Garden City.
Okay.
Hi. I don't know if that's how Karen sounds or not. With our updated website, is it best to put all the Google Forms under the Forms tab on this side, or should we continue to put them under the RCIA tab as an example?
All right. Let's go check it out. Oh my gosh. Are you gonna count that one?
Yeah, that's definitely counted. I think I'm at 8.
All right, St. Mary, GC, Garden City. Okay, so they have got an area called Forms, where they got all the, forms, and they probably have a RCIA area as well, where they have some more forms. Okay, so yeah, so the question is, where do we put them? Where should we put them in one or the other? Or really both. So for me, I really wholeheartedly say both, because those types of things are going to be looking for in both places. I hate it. Did you ever come across a website or say, to download the bulletin, go to the left side of the screen and click the little blue arrow or whatever? And I'm like,
I don't think that's ideal.
you know what? Just click here to download the bulletin. Boom, done.
I agree.
Easier for folks. So, so for me, because just taking it from the perspective of the audience and not knowing how they're going to visit it or how they're going to find that information, I'm not about, I hate to say, update two things, but at least make them link together to the same spot. So in this case, the one that's probably more important is the one where it says RCIA, because they're looking for that versus somebody just generically looking for forms. But from the another side of the audience, say if you are at the parish office and you're like, oh, you got your phone with you, right? So again, here's a different interface, right? They're on a phone, something like this. You can just say, oh, just go to the homepage and scroll down just a little bit, and you'll see a big blue area. Click on Forms. So this makes it very easy to tell somebody that over the phone versus like, okay, click on the top left, and then go to Faith Formation and tap there, and then go to RCIA, and then scroll down on that page, and then you're going to get to the thing. So that's more confusing, right, to tell somebody. So so they have a little bit of different purposes, so yeah, I'm wholeheartedly. I think the way that this is done is great, and have them in both places make it easy for people to find. Again, just
I agree.
A lot of times you can reason through interactions like this, like what would it look like as far as the audience is concerned, but other times you got to realize that people are coming from a different perspective, and that's why we use a lot of times instead of RCIA, for instance, we use language like I want to become Catholic. Make it easy to understand from the audience. Who is the audience? Where would they be looking at? Where would they be looking? In fact, at certain times of the year when maybe you're starting up RCIA classes or whatever else, you'd make a news story and said, blah, 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 blah. If you're interested in becoming Catholic, click here. Again, you don't have to recreate the world. Click here to go and learn more about becoming Catholic here at St. Mary's or something like that. So, both
Excellent. Yes.
That's
Cool.
answer.
Thank you, Karen. I dig it.
Okay. You don't dig it.
I do too. I think, yeah, it's good to
Keep the
have
questions coming.
multiple locations. It's
We almost
smart.
look like ghosts.
I know. It's
And you kind of blink different colors.
my OCD is raging. Hadn't been this bad in a while.
At least Salutio is
It's
clear
sharp
that.
and crisp.
Sharp and crisp.
Okay, good. All right, Bob, with the Sarah Club of Kansas City, Kansas.
Boom.
So Bob says, our homepage has 3 columns. Sometimes the column, usually the middle, is shorter than the others, although there are articles from before that could show up there. Is there any way I can affect this to better balance the look? So this is a website that hey, what'd you do?
Al +1.
Wow. I'll give you 2 for that. All right. So it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I wasn't the cause.
Well, there was an automatic focus, but I'm saying that I am going to blame it on you because I think the automatic focus isn't working because
Wow.
of you.
You know, at least I'm not wearing that shirt, but I did get it for you. And I like it. Okay, here we go. Did you hear the question?
No. I
All right, Bob, Sarah KCK. So, sarahkck.org.
well, you read it to the folks.
I did. Oh, good.
3
yes.
columns.
Yep. So basically, sometimes the
Sure.
column, usually the middle, is shorter than the others, although there are articles from before that could show up there. Is there any way I can affect this to better balance the look?
What a great question. Where? Oh, that's a different window. Which website?
sarahkck.org. 2 R's. So this is the Sarah A K C K. No.
What?
2 K's. KCK.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be worse.
What?
Just keep.
Oh my gosh. It's going to get worse.
Just can you
That's worse.
Focus on the people.
Okay.
I just kidding. Here you go. No, this is gonna be awesome.
Green is just, it's bad.
Is this better? Maybe this
I
is
bet
better.
it's wonderful. Actually,
Oh, that is good.
Now you're completely invisible.
Gosh, we're professional. This works great.
that actually is better in your shirt, I think.
There we go. Bishop Carroll.
I think so.
Rock and
I
roll.
have a whole bunch of clothes.
We
We
are.
should have like
we're in a
reserve clothes
professional
the
environment.
studio in case somebody
That whole
a wardrobe.
wardrobe.
There you go.
All right.
No.
Thank you to everyone that participated in that massive interruption.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
All right, so we're looking at the page here, and the middle column. Bop.
And they obviously
Oh.
have a very long page. Yep.
And so, yep, I'm seeing it now. Yeah, definitely something to be aware of. Realize that different size screens means, like this isn't necessarily the answer you want to hear, but like, even if it's on an iPad, the way that things roll may be different, right? So columns get really thin. So like, depending on the content, then it can get really off edge.
It's actually maybe a little better.
Maybe. Yeah, right. The point is that it might be better, it might be worse. On a mobile phone, good news, and which is probably where you get the majority of your traffic, things do, right? There's not columns to work with. It just puts everything in one column and makes for a really long page, but you won't have those kind of gaps. Probably, my best part of advice would probably be to be using more of these read more areas from the perspective of this way you can control how long a particular article is, and again, if you're checking it, then you'll be able to make adjustments, see if the adjustment made it, and then kind of keep going back and forth until you're satisfied. The read more allows you generally, unless we did something weird, basically to cap things off before you have to go to the next section. So it's actually interesting here. We already have this one, Bishop Barron Defense.
Junipero.
Sarah.
That's how I say.
Sarah. And so you can put a read more here. So if I want to read the rest of this story, I can either click on this top area up here, or I can click on read more, and it will go to its own page, right? So where there's a lot more content. The alternative, right, would be that all of that content would be right there. Or you'd have to create two different versions. You'd have to create one that's just short item, and then you'd have to create another version for the entire, when it's the full page. So instead, what works better, and we'll just shorten this. Well, I'll show you an example of shortening this even more. So let's log in, and I'm gonna need your 1, 2, 3 again.
There you go.
Oh, if I got that. Yep. Okay. All right. So then, so I'm gonna go to the article manager, and I'm gonna go to Bishop. Barron. All right. Defends Junipero.
Junipero, Sarah.
Okay,
I'm sure that's
Junipero.
I'm sure not.
Close enough.
Yeah.
You went to Bishop Carroll, so.
I'm sure it's like Junipero,
Oh.
but I don't speak that very well.
Okay.
I took Spanish for a year at K-State and didn't go well.
All right, so here's the article, and you can kind of see the text as it goes down. Now, one thing I kind of just bring your attention to, and hopefully, are we on the right view? Yeah, we are. Okay.
Yeah.
The little gray line here, this is the marker from the system of where that read more break takes place. So say I wanted to shorten this up. In fact, you may want to shorten up a lot of the different headlines on your site. So I can just put my cursor on the other side of it, hit the backspace key, just re-put that paragraph in, and then say I wanted to do it only after the first paragraph. Well, I put my cursor there now instead, click on the read more, and now when I save this off and I come back to the home page, now I'm still looking at the old version, so this is what it used to be. If I refresh the page, I'm going to see a much shorter area there. And especially if somebody's been if they're paying attention a lot to your website, they're coming back again and again. They've already seen maybe that article and read it. So to give it that much space you might be losing somebody's attention from stuff that's further down the page. So I think, especially on this site, I'd probably keep things a little bit shorter, just from the fact that there is a lot of text out here. And that'll just kind of help drive people's attention to the right things. So my advice, shorten it up from our chaplain, right? So cut it off here. You can,
or whichever column's too long, because in this case,
that's true. In this case, right,
he's
could
hoping
kind of fudge it. That makes sense.
Yeah, Bob's wanting to have it even across the bottom. More or
You
less.
could even do the first annual seminarian send-off mass, and you could do it right after the picture, for instance, and that way they'd see the picture and they could either click on the title or click on the read more and get there. So I'll leave that there for you. I don't know if actually,
you got closer,
it's this column on the right that's the worst.
which might be harder to
Right. So interesting links. They're gonna have to get less interesting. Maybe I don't know.
Or just make it a link off to a page that has the links.
Right. That might work well. So there you go. Okay.
All right.
You satisfied with that?
Yeah.
We'll read more action.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
Sister Marie Bernardina with the CarmelofPortTobacco.com, which those of you out there, if you've never heard of the Carmel of Port Tobacco, one of the cooler stories of all the religious orders that I've ever visited with. So I invite you to check out their website, CarmelofPortTobacco.com.
And you can order different things like
Oh, yeah, they got a huge gift shop.
different agricultural products, right? Like honey and stuff.
I believe so.
Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah. They were the first, I believe this is correct. If not, my apologies to whoever I'm offending. The first religious order in the 13 colonies. I'm going to double check that. I'm going to fact check myself.
I think it was originally, and then
Yes, right. Basically,
so the
yeah.
facility was there, and then there
Right.
were a bunch of people friends of
Of the
Port
Carmel,
Tobacco,
yep.
yeah, and so they kept it around, and then kind of searching around for religious order. So
That's a good distinction, right? The location was the site
Yeah.
of the first religious community in the 13 colonies. Anyway, very cool history. Okay, so I went away from the question. Sister Marie Bernardina asks, for an alert banner on the homepage, how do I change it from pink to another color?
You don't. It's alerting. It's alert. Gotta be very flashy. You know, it's surprising the number of questions that I get of like people that want like scrolling banners or flashing text.
Oh.
So I get that every once in a while. Which,
So-
what?
The color can be changed, right? Just not.
Yeah,
They just need to let, we kind of hard code that in.
Yeah, we hard code that in. That way it's automatic and stuff like that. It's not like very configurable. So
Yeah.
just contact
let
our
us know.
support staff, swap it out. It's not a big deal.
Could you theoretically have two different alerts? Like one alert that's green
Yep.
and one alert that's
You know,
pink?
green alert, red alert, pink alert.
Red alert. Red alert.
There
It's a video game.
you go.
You used to play a
So
lot.
you can have as many as you want, but you know, yeah, it's just funny. Like, right when we first started out, that was kind of one of the as we're just kind of thinking this through, like how do websites work and what should be done. And surprising, I don't know. Like I don't know I don't really see other websites having alerts that I know, other than like other secular organizations, but not too many. I don't know, diocesan or parishes, even though. Again, functioning as a news site, right? If you're selling a product, it's a little bit different. Maybe you'd have like, hey, we're going to be having delays on future orders. But with parishes, there's all kinds of adjustments to schedules or a funeral that comes in or a snow day or something like that to where we can't have religious education or something like that.
Right.
Like that happens pretty routinely. And if people get used to the fact that, hey, there's this alert, it'll tell you what's going on. We built that into every single website since we started. So the fact that like we want to now change colors is kind of like not only do we want that, but like we want more,
Right.
which is great. So we can create additional colors because right, if you're depending on how much you're using it, you can have different color. Like you could write like depending on how urgent it is.
Yeah.
Because yes, the pink is annoying and it's very in front of you, but that's part of the point is that it screams, which also I think prevents people from overusing it, right? Again, we can change the color; it can be whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
Well,
But-
for religious orders, it's probably a
Yeah.
different purpose because
Right,
they're
right.
not canceling religious ed or having school canceled or whatever.
right,
But
yep.
I'm with you.
But for a school, yeah, it's on purpose because I've seen people like, here's the results of the raffle and blah blah blah, like all these things, like
right.
constantly using it. So that's fine, but it's not. Just make that into a news story.
Right. Okay.
Sorry,
So, Sister Marie Bernardina, let us know. We're here to help. We'll get you covered. Okay. Father Gary Coulter, longtime watcher, frequent contributor. I just always want to say that, like when you call into the radio show.
right.
That's funny. That was.
Well, usually they would say it.
I know.
Long-time
Well,
listener.
he's not
First
here,
time
so I'm
caller.
saying it for him. Like we like.
But he's
fun.
also
Shout out.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I snuck in and saw him, by the way, and I don't know if he met, but
Oh really?
yeah,
When you were
so,
up training in Lincoln.
training for the Lincoln Cathedral, and but I didn't want to interrupt him, so like we got done with the main training, and we were doing the training in the parish office, and I leaned over and I saw several familiar faces, including his. I wanted to say, but I was like,
Could have been in the middle.
Yeah. So I passed. I went to Runza.
Now's your chance.
I went to Runza and said, "Hey, Father Coulter. Hey."
You went to Runza.
I did. So
That's awesome. Okay, so he's got a couple questions here. He asks, Google Search Console sent me an email today. Anything to worry about? Breadcrumb. The alert was breadcrumbs issues detected on lincolndiocese.org. Your site is affected by one breadcrumbs issue. Missing field. Item. That's what he got.
Wow. No, I haven't
Seen
come
that?
across that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I know a breadcrumb. So breadcrumbs on a site that I'm used to, which is not something that's done super often anymore, is like you'd have the header, you'd have the menu, and then right underneath that you'd have breadcrumbs. Because like if you went several levels deep into a website, you could come back. Like you put down little breadcrumbs, and you could come back to where you
Like
were.
Hansel and Gretel?
So because it was
I'm
very
sorry.
hierarchical, yes,
sorry.
hierarchical kind of structure. So for Google to know that is interesting. I wonder if they're knowing that through the URL, like that, because that could technically be a hierarchy, right? Of going news / calendar /
Yeah.
weddings. Like it could be a structure. I'd have to
Well, here's a search article, but on Google support, but
crawling and indexing. Maybe they couldn't get to a particular page.
yeah. Could be an article that's maybe been deleted or archived.
I could see that. Yeah. So it might tell you I wonder if the error.
Yeah, you might check and see, Father Coulter,
what
if it tells you
URL.
the URL that it's associated with.
Because basically maybe it crawled through your site in a particular way, and then the next time it crawled through, it couldn't find that same URL. And sometimes that may be because a news story
Right.
gets unpublished or whatever else, or kind of archived. So I haven't seen that, but I don't think that's a huge. I mean, the only thing it'd probably affect would be like just their search algorithm. So
Yeah. Okay.
don't know.
All right. Let's see. Next one. Also,
I wouldn't get too worried about it.
and that's actually, I guess, his primary question was anything to worry about.
Yeah,
Short answer, probably not.
not really.
Right.
All the other.
Until your site goes down, and then you need to let us know right away. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, the sites are so well indexed and done, and Google's algorithms are so intelligent these days, and kind of ignoring the weeds and things like that. That I don't see any major search issues that I come across.
Cool. Father also had Father Coulter had another question. He says, "Do you guys use OBS for your video live stream, or recommend anything else?"
We do, man. I went to a parish in Louisville.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like one word.
Louisville. One
All
one
syllables
syllable. All syllables.
into one.
They use Streambox or StreamSpot, but they swore by it. I thought it was really cool because they had a thing where it actually automatically streamed at like 8 a.m. to 8:45 or whatever. Like it would just come on automatically. So they just did the mass. Nobody even paid attention to it, and it just streamed.
I feel like I saw somebody else that used StreamSpot that I was impressed with.
Yeah. The thing is, it was kind of. I mean, there was definitely some cost.
Yeah, they got to pay
involved.
for it, right?
And it was, I want to say $500 to $700 a month. It was
Okay.
something fairly.
I wish I could remember. I think it was a parish that I was talking to. Maybe I don't remember where. Illinois, maybe. Anyways.
Yeah.
But they swore by it too. They said it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So
It just has some decent cost around it. Our setup that you see here, I mean, besides the microphones and cameras, is all free. We use OBS.
except for this talent.
Oh my god.
Except for this talent, it's not free.
So so here in the studio, yeah, we've just kind of gotten better. Well, I think a little bit better. We actually started pretty much on time, which is pretty phenomenal. Mostly thanks to Chris and Tony, who do a show in here every the Casting Nets Ministries. They do a show in here, I think, every week, usually on Thursdays.
Yep.
So yeah, we use OBS Studio. It's free and it's got tons of features around it. At the end of the day, you just need to plug mics into your laptop or
Desktop.
and some cameras, and you're kind of good to go. Gosh, over time, so we have like 4 different cameras. We're just using the one. Chris and Tony do it because they have a show and like one guy talks for a while and then they.
And they have a
whatever,
producer
they have a
that-
producer and stuff.
Right.
This is produced on set by us at the same time because nobody
you
else wants to
impressed?
watch.
Whatever. We have 9 viewers right now, just so you know.
Oh God, what do we do?
I know,
I
right?
don't think we ever had that many.
Or a thing.
Yeah, half of them are in the building.
That you didn't have to
Um,
share that.
There you go. Well, they noticed enough to go get your shirt.
That's because I slacked them
Oh, you
internally.
did?
Yes.
Oh wow, you were at work as well.
Yeah.
Um.
Another one.
So OBS, you can do green screens. Well, again, so that's something a little bit further in. But yeah, those things. There's all kinds of plugins. It's an open source thing. It's just used by so many streamers, like for gaming streamers. And that's how you get the little view where we're in the corner kind of thing. That's a common thing. I think that's the idea I got.
Yeah, that's what my
From the
son, who
streamers.
watches some YouTuber that your son's recommended, shows me.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Um,
Fortnite, yeah,
and then
it's important.
we use YouTube, their live studio. So at the end of the day, it's pretty simple. You get basically a stream key from Google, from YouTube, and then you plug that into OBS, and then you have OBS. So OBS kind of works as your producer. You put everything, all your mics and cameras and things like that into that tool, and then it streams out to the YouTube server. So and it starts sending it, and then at whatever time period. So you can go. That's why we can go ahead and prep ahead of time and have it ready, and then we just hit the go live button on YouTube site, and it takes that stream and then basically makes that public. So yeah, works out pretty well. We've kind of gotten more sophisticated as we've gone on. We have a mixer board with additional mics and different things like that. But at the end of the day, Logitech's 920. Their camera.
They were hard to find for a while.
They are. They might still be a little hard to find, but they're a great camera. Put it on a tripod. It's a very nice HD webcam when you can get it in focus. It's very configurable, so you can do a lot of things with it. And then the Yeti mic. I think there's one called the Snowball. It's about the size of a snowball. It goes on a little tripod, but that's got excellent sound quality. I wouldn't recommend necessarily using your laptop just straight out with its camera and microphone. It won't be nearly as good. But
Yeah. Cool.
there you go.
All right, good.
Highly recommend OBS.
All right, now we've got a couple from Jennifer Kane. Oh, actually, I don't want, in case Sister Marie Bernardina is watching, there was one more from you. We will either connect with you for the answers individually, or we'll see if we have time here at the end. It's very detail, sophistication, orientation. Anyhow, I just thought if I threw enough big words out, I'd change the subject. Here we are,
Okay,
Jennifer Kane, St. John the Baptist. So I have a problem in my menu. I want to swap Facebook to the corner. Also, I need to change my logo on all pages. And I broke a link on a menu item and have been unable to fix. So sjb-parish.org. Also, and I apologize in advance for my what my wife would call squirreliness. No, you keep going. I'm just
SJB.
providing buffer. Parish.org. But I really feel like I'm calling bingo numbers up here with the microphone like this. All right.
A4.
There's no A in bingo.
Dang it.
Anyhow.
All right. So there was a lot of questions
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Okay, so
I'm ready.
Give
So-
me one.
So she says, I think a couple things here are focused in the menu. So if you want to go up to the top.
Menu.
So, for example, that Facebook icon, I think, is part of what's probably causing the issue. Because she's got that youth group menu underneath that as well. So what she's saying is she would like to take that Facebook icon and just put it in the corner of the menu, not have it knock that youth group down. So that's the first thing. But along with that, she says she broke a link on a menu item and have been unable to fix it. Now that,
We don't know which one.
I'll search that out while you're taking care of that Facebook issue.
I'm gonna need your.
Oh, yeah. The old password. The old ABCD123. That was the wrong time for that to happen. Well, just another little tidbit while I was putting in the password. Oh,
There we go.
no, you'll have to wait on that one.
Ah.
In suspense.
Ba-ba-da-ba. All right, so the menu. Actually, I don't know 100% how she got it up there, but I'm guessing what's happening is it's wrapping around. I wonder if youth group was added on later on. So,
Oh, interesting. Actually, this might help you know.
Oh, right. Yep. So depending on your screen size, it's probably going to wrap at different levels, which is just the fact that there's a lot of them there. So there's a couple options. As far as putting it in the corner, you can put it last, but I mean, it is in the corner for me.
Right.
So let's take a look at menus and see if it's there. There's a couple places this could be depending on what was done. So, all right, connect. Keep going here. Financial updates, sacraments. Okay, so I'm gonna guess this was done in the Gantry 5 thing. So, otherwise, I don't even know how you get. I don't think you can get a picture in there. So, if you go under components and go under Gantry 5 themes, so we're kind of getting a little bit further into the weeds here. Gemini is the template that's being used here, so we're going to configure that, and there is an area for menu up here at the top right, along with lots of other settings. So here is the social media desktop icon that's here. Now, whenever you start messing around, just FYI, if you ever start messing around with menus in this area, then it will override what the default Joomla menu lineup is. So that's what's happening here. So in this equation, I guess you're really wanting the social media desktop there. Now, let's change this up just a little bit. Okay, so right now, so it's a module ID here. Module ID's numbers for 97. So I'm actually going to get rid of this guy here. So you can drag it to the top. That'll remove it. I'll hit save menu. And then what I'm going to do, instead of putting it in the menu, I'm going to put it in the outline. So let's see here. This is probably the right one here. Because there can basically, actually, let's try the base outline. So that's where all of them come from. Okay, and so one of the areas you can kind of play with the layout of the site is, and how that all functions, is this layout tab up top. And here you're going to see the logo / image and the menu. Now, that is this, let me get rid of this, this 35-65 split between these two. So if I change this, potentially, unless I hard-coded something, I can change the size of that logo, right, and give the menu more room. So we're going to just try that. Again, that's not a hard and fixed rule. It depends on how it was implemented, but there you go. Okay, so now we've got more room to work with. So it's a little bit up to you as to how much room do you need. So I'm going to trust that you're going to look at this. And so I'm going to set it to 70-30 and give myself a little bit more room. And we should be off to the races here. Okay. Now, to put that thing in the corner, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another module area over here on the right of menu. So one of the items you can use is the social media. So I'm going to pop that there, so it should be 70. Okay, so now I've got a social. Now I'll have to make sure that it's been placed in there properly, but we'll do we'll do 28 here, and we're going to do all the way down to 5. I'm going to leave 5% there at the end, and then we'll expand this out a little bit. I want to give that menu just a little more breathing room. Actually, even just setting it to 30, giving it 65 will be better, because she had the Facebook thing in the menu before, so it should give hopefully a little bit extra space. Okay, so now it depends on if the social media page was plugged in here. It looks like Facebook and Twitter are, which are probably, that's the default, so I'm guessing they're not. So let me get back. there's okay. So here's the Facebook page. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back into here. Save this off. We got to go into an area called particle defaults, which is where you specify what your social media is. So social. So we got Facebook and Twitter. This is going to be, the generic thing. So we'll get rid of that. And then Facebook, we can either have this logo or we can have, there's just the F. I think we'll do the Facebook official here. And this is kind of tricky, but I always get rid of this deal here. That way, basically, if there's several social media icons, it creates a little bit of space between them. So big thing is you can select that, and then the link we're going to put to the church's Facebook page, and that should do it. There it is. So there's the Facebook logo on there on the one side in the corner. So there you go. And it looks like their menu has a little bit more breathing room, so it can appear there. But at the end of the day, that's part of the problem is that there's so many menu items, and your logo shares that same space. So something's got to give. So what's happening is the menu is then wrapping onto the next level, which was Facebook was in there in the second to last, and then it was wrapping youth group down. If you want to play around with that, I recommend you go into the Gemini deal. Again, just to kind of review, go to Gantry 5 templates, configure Gemini, go over to layout, and then you can play around with that logo spacing. And just remember, on different screen sizes, we'll have different kind of rollouts. So get to one of the more common ones, and then make that go. And then obviously on so if you see a smaller screen there, it's going to look a little different. So there you go.
Okay. So along those lines,
Okay.
Jennifer, well, actually, back in the menu. So she's sent a couple more notes in while we've been talking here. It's the RCIA link that is, that one there, that currently is going to, there you go.
Okay.
So
I'm guessing, so if I go to the RCIA, so let's go to the regular Joomla menu. What I'm guessing is happening is there's kind of, I don't want to do that. There's been a kind of not a mix-up, but there's been some overriding done on the menu through that other screen. So let's put all the menus here, and then let's do RCIA. Okay, so here it is, and I wonder if it's unpublished. Okay, so here's the problem. So this category that it's pulling from is unpublished, so it can't pull from that category. So this is the menu item. Another way to get to that is I can go to content, go to categories, and for one reason or another, RCIA has been unpublished. So it's got the X next to that. So that means all of the articles and all that structure behind that's been unpublished as well. So I'm going to click on that and republish it. And now when I come to this page and refresh, there it is. Now, there may be other, there's probably articles under there. So maybe let's see if there's anything underneath there. So select category RCIA. And these are...
Well, there were two different categories there when you were on the categories page. Is there a chance that the menu
points
started
to that
pointing at the wrong one?
Well,
should have pointed to the adults RCIA.
Oh, right. Yeah, I bet you're right. So that's all. So maybe this is an old area.
Yeah.
So that's good, man. I put you down for one on that one.
That's it.
Don't get cocky. All right, RCIA. So instead, to go into this menu item and change it from the old one, so I clear this one, and I'm going to select the other RCIA one that's not unpublished. There it is there, and I think there were several articles on there already.
I think 5, yeah.
Save and close. There you go. So the real thing was just the fact that it was tied to, the menu item was tied to a category that was unpublished. And so basically the system doesn't, it's trying to pull from there, and it can't because it's gone. It's not public. So there you go.
All right. Let's see.
Some
We're
good ones.
we're getting close to our hour mark. But oh, Jennifer had also asked how to change your logo out on all the pages
Oh,
on the site.
that is probably something that's built into the template. I'll switch over to the other view, and I can kind of see on that. If I right click on that and go to copy link, see here, open image in a new tab, I'll be able to see where that's at. Images, stories, Solutio logo. Yeah. So actually, for you, this should be pretty easy. You'll go into the image manager. You'll go into Solutio. Hop down to, there's the logo. Yep, there it is right there. So just drag a new file that's called logo.png. Like it's got to be exactly that. Drag and drop that in, or click on upload and you can upload your own. I'd probably save off the old one and keep that around just in case. But as far as have it a reasonable size, and then the system will pare it down to be to fit in that area.
Are there any particular things that they should know about the logo? It looks like that one's pretty transparent there versus...
Yeah, it does have a transparent background. So you notice as it lays on top of here, it's got the blue in the background. As it goes on this, you see the it's got the background. So they could put a background behind it. I mean, realize that, but yeah, if they want it to be kind of look like that, just to make sure to have a transparent background. So
cool.
Good question.
All right.
That's not the same case for every website. Sometimes those are kind of hidden behind areas that are a little harder to get to. But in this particular case, there was. But oftentimes when you look at and you right click on an image, you can find out where it lives by going to open in a new tab and paying attention to that URL. Cool.
All right. Let's see. Man, I think I'm getting them all here. Jennifer, you did have one other item, which we'll probably follow up with you on separately. And then Christina Ann, can we get this video emailed to us? Of course you can, Christina. Actually, it'll just be on our on our YouTube page. But
maybe we can have like past episodes, a link on the monthly update thing.
Well, that's a good idea.
So
yeah,
we can suggest that.
But I will. I'll make sure someone emails that to you as well.
It goes right to our YouTube page. So if you go to probably it's not on Solutio Software. Actually, is it? Might be.
The service page?
If you go to solutiosoftware.com. Do we have like, I don't know, our YouTube thing?
Oh, like our social media icon? No, we don't.
You have to dig down in their ways.
That's okay. I'll email it to you.
Well, there it is right here. But
yep.
Yeah. Or we could also probably put it on our page.
We could.
We
it's true.
No, we just don't.
We don't do that much on YouTube, right?
Mostly for our own internal clients.
Now, to be fair, and just so you're aware, Christina, and now I guess I don't want to sell it short. Maybe you want to watch this video for the comedic value, which I get.
Yes, of course.
However, your site at the Catholic Foundation Michigan.org is built using WordPress. So
yeah, it's just everything out there.
Much of what Al's shown has been, I mean, some of it's ubiquitous and it works
true.
in both places, but for the most part, he's been showing the interactions with with the more common site editor, Joomla.
Add another one.
For me?
Yeah,
Oh.
I think so.
Well, I'm glad I asked our team here to keep track of who scored the most points. So at the end of this game, we'll find out who the winner is. All right. I think that's kind of it. That was a lot.
That's a lot. I felt like that was the
awesome.
most productive hour power we've had in a long time. Began on time ish.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We could have. I was just waiting for you to go to the bathroom. And yeah. I don't know. You were going somewhere.
I mean, no, I don't mind you revealing that I
Oh.
was going potty, but I just don't feel like that was the thing.
That your fault? It was your fault?
I mean, it's okay. I'll take that one.
Well, it's kind of like -1. I just want to make sure that we're all.
We're even? No, I won this round.
Yeah.
All right. I'll refresh one more time.
I think we're done. been. 3:01. I gotta get back to work.
All right.
Things to do. Lots of sites to build.
Well, there are a couple more that came in, but I'll respond to
Nope.
them separate.
See you later.
All
All right.
right.
Thanks for joining us. We had, Travis had a good time. I had a good time too. It was good. All right. We'll see you next time, next month. Later. Bye.
Bye, guys.